All right, Shalom. All right, first and foremost, I'm going to give all praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kadash. A double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace, love, and salutation to you, Akin, that's pushing this truth and true sincerity. And just real quick, just straight to the point, you know, you got a lot of people that's talking about the war in Iran, but it's prophesied in the Bible. And you don't believe the naysayers, because they're going to break down the scriptures the wrong way. You got people that say that Jerusalem is Babylon the Great. All right, don't believe the false prophets, Shalom. Don't believe the false prophets and the naysayers. So real quick, I'm going to just hit a few scriptures in Ezekiel the 38th chapter, because that's the times I'll be in. Ezekiel 38:1, and the word of the Lord's name is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai, came unto me, saying, came unto Ezekiel through a vision. It says, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, and the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Now, all right, and you look at a map, the land of Gog and Magog is Russia in today's time. All right, that land was occupied by the Japhetic people, all right, the so-called Pacific Islanders, but they got pushed out of the land. But now Esau Edom, all right, the self-proclaimed white man, is in that land. All right, they're known as the Russians now. We're supposed to prophesy against them. All right. And it also tells you in Ezekiel 39, we're supposed to prophesy against them. And say, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I'm against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. That goes back into that USSR spirit, all right, between 1922 and 1991, roughly 69 years. You had leaders like Joseph Stalin, Vladimir Lenin, Mikhail Gorbachev, so on and so forth. All right, there was always Cold War going on between the United States and Russia, with the USSR, over weapons. All right, it says, and I will bring thee forth in all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. That goes into their artillery. Just real quick, just give you a brief example of Russian jets, all right? Because this is what's going on, all right? In Bible times, we're still in Bible times. People like to say, "Oh, that was in the ancient days." No, we're still in biblical times. Okay. Now, just real quick, it says AI overview: Russian military jets in service as of 2026 consist heavily of advanced Sukhoi derivatives, including the Su-350S, Su-30SM, and Su-34 strike aircraft with the 5th generation Su-57 stealth fighter increasingly integrated. So they're increasing this warfare that's going on, all right? And you can't forget about Satan 1, Satan 2, those missiles that they have, all right? It says Ezekiel 38:5, Persia, which is modern day Iran. You see Iran in the news right now. They're getting attacked by the United States and Israel. They're responding back by hitting these embassies in these different places like the United Arab Emirates. All right, Persia is modern day Iran. Ethiopia is a country in Eastern Africa. Libya, remember Gaddafi? Remember they got rid of him, all right? Esau Edom got rid of him. With them, all of them with shield and helmet. So they're going to be armed to the T as well, all right? Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands and many people with thee. Now Gomer goes into Turkey. Now, as of now, Turkey is part of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, all right? They're a strategic partner to the EU, all right? So it says, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be a guard unto them. And we're going to start to see that in the coming days, man. You're going to start to see if this conflict, was, I guess it's been going on for about a week now, but it might die down, but the scripture still got to be fulfilled. So it might die down, it might pick back up, but we still got to wait on the mark of the beast, all right, which is the RFID microchip. So that's just real quick. That's what's going on, Bible prophecy. All right, all these nations are going to gear up in the war with Jehoshaphat. All right, matter of fact, I'm gonna get one more. All right, Because Ezekiel 38, you can read the rest for yourself. I would say if you don't get the understanding, type of GMS Ezekiel 38 chapter, you get the whole breakdown. All right, this is just a short, Godspeed at camp, because this is what's going on right now. All right, you're not going to get this in the Christian church. Let's get another one. Just real quick, Joel 2:20. All right, because you start to see a lot of soldiers, especially our people that are enlisted in the army. They're going to start drafting you youngsters. I'm going to say it like that. You 18 to 25 young men and women. All right, they're going to start drafting you into this third World War, which is prophesied in Revelation 11 and 14. Mm-hmm. It says Joel 2:20, but I will remove far off from you the northern army. Yeah, all those people twerking in the army, the United States Army, they're going to be sent off. All right, and they're not coming back. All right. Ain't gonna be no honorable discharges, man. They're not gonna come back in caskets, man. So if you're a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, and you soaked in this word, it would be a high time to get up out of there, man. It says he will drive them into a land barren and desolate. That's Saudi Arabia. All right, they tried to build that smart city in Saudi Arabia, but they had to put it down because guess what? The Lord is preparing war in this area, known as in the Bible as Havilah. And it says, and it's with his face toward the East Sea, which is the Euphrates River, the Persian Gulf area, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea, which is the Red Sea. So in between that, you got Saudi Arabia. And a lot of Americans are stuck in that region. United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, all right? Because we're in a time of war, like it says in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. It says, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he have done great things. All right, it's gonna be a lot of dead bodies, man. All right, so that's what's coming to pass. Ezekiel the 38th chapter, the Lord is gathering all these nations to the valley of Jehoshaphat. It goes into that in Joel the 3rd chapter. You can precept that with Isaiah the 34th chapter. But that's what's going on. You hear the signs in the background. All right, there's a lot of commotions that's going on. All these nations are being gathered. All right, because the Lord is gathering them to judge them. All right, it's not going to be the heathen is imagining a vain thing, but the Lord he's got the minds of the world leaders to come into that valley of Jehoshaphat and prepare war. So that's what we're prophesying about. We're also prophesying of salvation from these events. So with that, Lord, when I was edifying, I'm gonna say shalom.